Welcome to another episode of QUANGNAM Today. In this cozy air of spring, we will take you all the way to a New Year celebration of the Bhnong people in the western mountainous region of Quang Bhnong people are a local group of the Jeching ethnic minority in Phước Sơn District, Quang Province. Being one of the ethnic groups who live a long time on Trường Sơn mountain range, the Bhnong people have created a very unique culture with the customs and festivals bearing the imprint of the upland region. And among those long-established customs is a very important festival, which marks an enthusiastic and hard-working year, that is the Spring Tet or New Rice celebration. This is considered the most important and meaningful Tet for Bhnong people and is also one of the cultural activities that imply both preservation of traditional ethnic beauty and the solidarity of the ethnic minority communities in Phước Sơn District. Since early in the morning, Bhnong people dressed in brocade costumes in all villages and hamlets have prepared traditional dishes, agricultural products, and household utensils to bring to the village's house for displaying. In order to have all of the food for the festival, the Bhnong women previously sorted out the most gobby and sweetest batong sticky rice grains to make quat cakes or yep cakes, while the men went to the forest to hunt animals and followed the streams to catch fish. This represents a very high united spirit. According to the village elders as well as the young people here, although life has changed a lot, but it's not that people forget the traditional costumes of their community, especially the Spring Tet celebration.
Người Bhnong đó, sau khi rút lúa xong,
The Bhnong people, after harvesting the rice crop, all celebrated. They counted how much rice, how many buffaloes, cows, and chickens they've gained in the past year to inform with the god about their full season. According to the notion of the Bhnong ethnic group, the Spring Tet festival has a very sacred meaning. It's being thankful to the gods for giving the villagers a good harvest season and praying for nice weather, peaceful village, healthy villagers, and successful descendants. In the process of integration and exchange between regions, some typical cultural features, some traditional jobs and cuisines gradually eroded and no longer handed down. To contribute to preserving and promoting the traditional cultural values of the Bhnong people, from 2019, Phước Sơn District has a policy of restoring and maintaining the New Rice celebration. One of the contents of the festival is to recover and redepict the ritual of building cây nêu, an artificial New Year tree. This is a typical traditional activity which clearly reflects the spiritual culture of the Bhnong people through the New Rice celebration. The nêu tree, a traditional folk beauty, is often decorated with wood, but mainly made from bamboo, a dear, familiar, and popular tree in Vietnam. According to custom, the nêu tree is adorned with splendid colors soaring up in the sky as a reflection for the spiritual beliefs of thanks to heaven and earth, thanks to ancestors, and thanks to the god of rice that were casted during the long history of Bhnong agricultural residence in the mountainous district of Phước Sơn. The nêu tree is divided into three sections that symbolizes the world view of heaven, earth, and people, while the cornflowers on the tree symbolize the outlook on nature and surrounding plants. This symbol stands for harvested rice and crops in the year. This bird symbolizes full children playing on the ground. The above objects show the desire of a more bumper crop next year, and these leaves represent the solidarity of the people. In addition to the soaring nêu trees decorated with various looks, the noteworthy points are rice warehouses, like small stilt houses, that are also built up from quite early by Bhnong people. For thousands of years, Bhnong people have known how to make rice. Rice is the main source of food, so they really appreciate it. They preserved the rice very well in their own way, building storage right next to the field. When harvesting, they only bring back home a small amount that is enough to celebrate the new rice. The rest is kept in the warehouse. The rice warehouses are separated from the village but are never stolen. Each household uses their own one. The Bhnong has a very strict law. Who steals will be fined heavily, and ones who do it again will be expelled from the village. The Bhnong's rice warehouses in Fuson is also diversified in terms of shape, but one thing in common is that all roofs are covered with thatch and are thatched very carefully so that they are never leaked. House can be leaked, but the rice stock is never. That saying illustrates how valuable that the rice stock can be towards the Bhnong people. It is understandable because rice is the main food source that gives them the life on this land. In the high mountains, the Bhnong's art forms also have their own characteristics. To relieve the hard working, they created many unique musical instruments that are simple but very charming. Each instrument is used in a different situation. There are types used in festivals, some are only used on the field. There are also instruments that serve to express love of couples. The other ones are to both entertain and scare birds and animals away. Along with the new tree building ritual and rice stock display, the gong playing and dancing is also lively performed by Bhnong people at the festival. The gongs with the sound of the Central Highland Mountains is a mean of communicating with the supernatural spirit to pray for favorable weather, lush crops, and prosperous villages. In terms of culinary, apart from usual traditional dishes such as snail cake, bamboo rice, forest mouse meat, at this festival, the Bhnong in Fuson also performed a lot of new traditional dishes that are made from available materials from mountains, rivers, and streams, including B'nong rice, sour stream fish, cassava leaves, and snail soup, stir-fried squirrel meat, grilled fish in bamboo pipes, etc. And the special thing is, any Bhnong woman will master the cooking of her ethnic typical dishes. Notably, the wrapping and cooking test of quat cake, pancake, and bamboo rice made a strong impression to many tourists when they witnessed the skillful wrapping hands of Bhnong girls. These dishes are maintained and promoted by all upland Bhnong women because these are very clean, safe, and healthy food for their families and relatives. This is also an opportunity to bring the new and exotic food of Bhnong ethnic people to introduce to friends from all over the world. The typical dishes of the Bhnong include quat cakes and chicken, two indispensable items in spring festival to worship the gods. The second is squirrel meat grilled in bamboo pipes. The third is fish cooked with banana leaves. The fourth is sour marinated fish. This is considered Bhnong's specialty, and the drink is fermented rice wine. It is also a shortcoming not to mention the traditional folk games that are excitedly participated by crowds of Bhnong people. Stick pushing is both a traditional sport and a folk game, usually held at the beginning of spring during Tet holidays and festivals. This sport has strengthened the exercising spirit and enriched the cultural and spiritual life of ethnic minorities. For a long time, the Bhnong people in Fuson district always maintained spring Tet holidays with a solidarity in their family and in the village. This year, they are more happy and excited when there is a culinary competition. The organization of the first spring festival for Bhnong people has created a joyful atmosphere in the strata of people and ethnic groups in Fuson district. Through this celebration, traditional crafts, farmers' agricultural products are displayed and exchanged, contributing to creating a warm new year both physically and spiritually. This is not only an opportunity for people to gather and share their daily tasks, but also helps their descendants understand more about their culinary culture so that they can preserve and promote in the future. Bhnong people make up over 75% of the population of Phước Sơn district. They live mainly in Phước Mỹ, Phước Hiệp, Phước Năng, Phước Xuân, Phước Thạnh, Phước Lộc communes. Through the history of the formation and development, the Bhnong unique costumes and practices have been handed down in the village community. However, over the past few years, there have been many changes in accordance with the general development process of the ethnic groups living in the district. So, along with the Spring Tet, Bhnong people in Phước Sơn have also fully prepared to welcome the traditional Lunar New Year of the nation. This has contributed to tighten the solidarity among the ethnic groups all over the country. We've now come to the end of this month's program. Please stay tuned to Quangnam Today on the website qrt.vn. Thank you for joining us, and goodbye.